I think I can introduce myself like ja sam Eva, ja živim Češka.
You are obviously Asian origin.
Yeah.
Not Chinese. People
It's
think.
making fun, but it's true. Like yes, it's just like.
Is this a racial comment? Sorry.
No, it's
Okay.
not. It's true. It's true. It's
Yeah,
just like
sorry.
based on the true.
Because
No.
people think she's Chinese.
It's the same as I can say home. Home is just the feeling that you have. It's not the place, but it's the feeling that you have. At least for me.
What would you recommend for any people who are coming to Zlatibor?
Just to talk with the locals. That way you will like get to know the culture. And you can say, oh yeah, I've been to Serbia. And then like he started to talk about his stories. Like he climbed K2. I was like, oh my God, this guy. I met someone who climbed K2. Being born in New York is a big privilege. So I'm really happy for that. And I'm really proud and I respect my parents for what they've done because they came to Czech Republic without nothing.
Ask Mickey to pronounce your name.
Huong.
Huong.
One more time.
Huong.
Yeah, but
so.
50-50. So, and I was like, what the heck is happening? Right, so I tried to not move and it turned on again. And then I moved and it was just turned off again. So someone was sitting there staring at us while we were sleeping.
Prvi put u Zlatiborskom podcastu imamo gošću iz inostranstva i zato će ova epizoda biti na engleskom jeziku. Eva Dao Tu Huan je Čehinja vijetnamskog porekla koju je backpackersko putovanje navelo na Zlatibor. Govorila nam je o svojim zanimljivim iskustvima, studiranju i o njene 2 domovine. Pozivamo sve da zaprate naš YouTube kanal i sadržaje na društvenim mrežama. Posebno se zahvaljujemo kompaniji Better Looking Shutters. A sada ide priča Eve Dao Tu Huan.
Ovo je Zlatiborski podcast.
Eva, thanks for joining us. You are, as I said, the first guest from abroad in Zlatiborski podcast. So thank you for come to share your story with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
What brought you to Zlatibor?
Well, basically I was in Bosnia and Herzegovina and I was searching a way how to hitchhike to Belgrade. But now I changed my plan a bit totally. And there were like 2 ways. And so I took, because I have a host, I use couchsurfing for traveling. I had a host.
Couchsurfing, yes.
I have a house in
Ljubovija,
sorry. And then I was thinking, okay, I can skip Belgrade. I don't like big cities. And I found David, that he lives close to Zlatibor. And I love mountain and I love the nature. And I was like, okay, that's a place I want to go. And then I will continue to niche and continue to Greece because I should come back to school. But yeah, that's the way how I found Zlatibor and Čajetica. Because Čajetina. I'm screwing your names of the cities.
I'm gonna screw about your name, so actually it's no problem.
So that's the way how I found it, and I'm really happy that I did this or made this decision.
Have you heard for Zlatibor before your trip or?
No, not at all. Actually, it's my very first time in Serbia in general. So yeah.
So first time in Serbia, and when you heard you're gonna come to Zlatibor, did you Google it? How did you prepare for
Not
this
really.
place?
I don't really prepare. I just go with the flow, and I love to learn about the place when I come there. Because when I search, it kind of creates some kind of
Expectation.
and I don't want to have like expectation because you can get like, I don't know, disappointed or something like that. And I don't like that, so I just go with the flow. And on the place, I ask locals, then I like search information. And based on that, I can compare if it's true or not, you know? So that's the way how I like to learn or learn about the places. And I know sometimes it's good to know some information in advance, yeah.
To prepare.
Yeah, it depends where. And yeah, which country.
Well, Serbia is not, doesn't have any dangerous locations, let's say, that can be dangerous for tourists in any way. So kind of you don't need to be prepared in that way. So David, he's obviously a host for Zlatiborski podcast, but he also has that tradition of being a couch surfing host. So how is he as a host? Because he had many people from all abroad, from all countries coming to his place. So tell us something about David as a host.
He and Giovanna, they are amazing actually, because I arrived on first day. And I was supposed to stay just one night, maybe two nights maximum. And I extended my stay till today. So it's like 6 days instead of, 2 days. So because when I arrived, I felt so welcome. You don't feel like a stranger. You don't feel like a foreigner. I feel like a part of the family, and I still feel, and it's amazing, like the hospitality and like how kind they are, open, and also to see like how they visit each other every evening or during the day. It's amazing to see, and I'm so proud and so grateful to be part of this community, to see this community actually. So yeah.
Well, you said it's because Giovanna, not because of David. It's thanks to her hospitality. David, you can now, we should talk in English to kind of practice. Tell us something about your couch surfing experience, how many people came to your place, and why did you start that, let's say?
We are a small community, like in South Park. Yeah. But that's the thing that I want to ask you. Like, why can you tell me about this like small village and community that everybody know everybody?
You already said people are visiting
polite,
each other, being polite. Tell us some example of politeness of these people.
Okay, so for example, David, he took me to his grandma, right? And they just showed me around. And when I came, like I saw the relatives, I think, of the grandmas, and they just like welcomed me with the smile. And like they didn't feel, or I didn't feel like I would be someone else, someone different. And they just talk to me normal. Also, maybe it's the language, maybe because I know Czech, which is like a Slavic language, so it connects me more to them. But still, like it's the feeling that you get, that you come somewhere and they just want to talk to you. They smile at you. They offer you raki, they offer you food, and they ask you all the time if you are okay or not. It's just those little things, that makes you feel welcome, and not like you're like some parasite there or something like that, So yeah, that's one of the example, and it's actually hard to kind of describe it. That's the feeling that you get, It's the same as I can say home. Home is just the feeling that you have. It's not the place, but it's the feeling that you have, at least for me. So I can say this is kind of like feel like home, to be honest.
Yeah, I understand. This is one of those episodes of our podcast that has people who feel home not in those objects that they live most of their lives, but in like you said, in those relations and feelings that they have. I do not have that feeling, so I cannot kind of relate, but I understand, and I strongly support everybody to have like those, let's say, habits of living on and traveling. So Zlatibor is a famous center of tourism in Serbia and maybe even abroad. One of the most famous touristic places in this state. So do you feel that that kind of politeness and hospitality of people that was, let's say, in part of tradition of probably for centuries, obviously, do you feel kind of that characteristic
in Zlatibor
brought that made Zlatibor such a famous touristic place? Even though you haven't visited some destinations, but you get to know people. Do you think that can we explain that with that part of people?
Well, like to be honest, like. Every place that starts to become like touristic, it loses the spirit. I just feel, and I think it's true, and I think I stand for this statement. So yeah, it's like when I came to Zlatibor, it was nice. It's nice. There were a lot of lights, but it just seems artificial. I didn't feel like the true culture there, So I could see, okay, like the people who sell, the sellers, they talk together. That's culture, yes. But when you come there as a tourist and as a person, I felt like a tourist there, literally like a tourist. I didn't feel like a traveler or anything like that. I felt like a tourist, and I don't like to be a tourist. So, like as a place, it's nice. Yeah, a lot of lights, beautiful. But for me, it was too materialistic, it doesn't have the spirit, the soul that I'm searching for, So for me, it's nice city, but not really where I would like to stay longer. I would rather stay in Češke for a longer time.
Yeah.
But like around Zlatibor, you have beautiful mountains, the nature there. Jovana, she took me like to the monument. It's a really nice path. If you go in the evening, no one was there, and you have beautiful views. So that one, yes. But but it depends. Everyone has different preferences. For me, it wasn't like that much wow. Češke was more wow for me. So
Čajetina. Okay.
I will.
You will learn it eventually. So apart from being our first guest that we talked to in English language, you are the first guest that wears only the first one that we saw that's wearing socks of wool or woolen čarape. So how did you get them?
Well, Ceca, the mom of David, she gave it to me, and they're so comfortable. Oh my God, I love them so much. How do you say it in Serbian? Vlnjena
čarape.
Vlnjena čarap.
Yes.
Oh, so amazing.
Very useful in winter, but even more in summer, maybe.
Yeah, very, very much. If you want to stink, sure.
It's natural material, so that's why it's so.
Yeah, I could highly recommend anyone to wear them in winter. They're amazing. And at home, oh my God, it's so comfy, amazing. And I went outside because my shoes, they are not really wintry. It's more free seasonal one before the winter. So, and when I wore them with the shoes, I didn't feel cold at all. It was so warm.
Yeah.
I love that.
A rekla si, Evo, malo čas, šta si rekla za ćirilicu?
Ja sam se učila kirilicu v Makedonii. Ja sam tam studovala makedonštinu minulé léto, last summer.
Aha.
Da.
A latinica je u...
Latinica, kirilika. Ja sam se učila kiriliku.
Ja, čirilicu, da.
Čirilicu. Ona je lehká, dobro. Čirilica je dobra.
So you can understand the Serbian, znači ti razumeš pomalo, ali ne moraš da pričaš.
Da. Ja razumem pomalo, a když mluvím česky. Pokouším česky.
Da, because Serbian and Czech are kind of similar.
Yeah, they're Slavic language. Český jazyk is slovanský jazyk. So da.
One day I came home and she's preparing food for us. She was great and she's cleaning the house, and I said to her come on, relax, don't do such a work, you are not black.
Stop it.
It's getting even worse and worse.
Yeah.
I think I can introduce myself. Ja sam Eva, ja žijem v Češka. Ja sam 24 godiny. Ja imam 4 sestra. Da. Drago mi je, it's when you say nice to meet you.
Oh, dobro.
Dobro.
It's enough. Tell us something about what else that you liked here in Zlatibor, especially about the nature, not that urban place center, but in nature.
The nature. Well,
and what do you think? Why do we have a lot of Asian tourists? Maybe not travelers, but tourists, especially from China. What do you think they see? What's the reason they come here?
The reason why they come here, I guess, I don't want to be mean, but I think this is a kind of general thing for Asian, the tourist, not the traveler, is to show off that they've been in this famous place that is famous on social media, to show, oh my God, I took a picture of that, and then show it off, and to be to have a better status in front of their family, the people that they know, friends. So I think that's the reason, actually. Maybe I'm wrong. Can be.
Well, we actually heard from people who work in tourist organizations and agencies that there is now I'm gonna be talking about Chinese tourists, but probably the same for not to be. Let's generalize for all Asia, but it's a kind of common thing for Asian for Chinese tourists to go on a place two places that famous influencers visited before. So actually, those are real influencers that make an influence on regular tourists.
Yeah.
So from being let's say some hotel or part of touristical business, you will probably use that.
Yeah, of course.
Use that habit to take money. So I think that people are using it and make tourists that income from those habits. But probably the travelers like yourself are not that interesting for that mass tourism and not going into some statistics and stuff like that. So you are kind of odd in that way.
Yeah, I am. I guess it's just the Asian mentality, I would say. I can see it on my aunt, uncles, like they just need to buy, really fancy clothes and then to show it off. Maybe it's
not only Asian, I can tell you. Okay.
Maybe I think it's something like, for sure it's connected with the history that they were poor and now they can afford it, so they just need to show it off. Yeah, why not? But for me it's not that important. I don't find happiness there. Just like the covering, like something that you...
And where do you find happiness in your traveling?
Well, in the mountains, in the nature, just basically like when I get out or for example here, oh my God, I just remember one thing that I'm really happy about this place. It's the water that you have. It's so pure. It's so great, and just those little things, like a pure, nice water, refreshing water. It's amazing because in Prague, it's so filtered. You have you can taste the chlorine there and it's not really good. But here you drink the tap water and it's amazing. For example, this.
You drink water in nature in those...
the springs. I love it so much. And amazing thing is when you go hiking and then you can, there's like a lake or river and you can take a shower or, bath a bit, swim in that. It's amazing feeling.
Well, not in every place.
Yeah, it depends.
You have to know.
Of course.
You have to be familiar with the terrain. So you had good, let's say, hosts in David and Jovana who are very familiar with their own place, who've been to a lot of places that are not, let's say, in some circle of everyday visiting for many of local people actually. But you found great local people to get to know you with this place, with Zlatibor in its real meaning, like you said. So you said you're finding happiness and in mountains. What was? Did you had some more moments of that happiness besides you said water and people, and what would you recommend for any people who are coming to Zlatibor?
Just to talk with the locals. That's the thing I would recommend people to do. Talk with the locals. Don't be just on the phone. Don't just be because most of them, they just stick together. But that's not the point of traveling. You travel because you want to get to know the culture, not yourself. You can be with yourself anywhere, But talk with the locals. That's the amazing thing. The best thing you can do when you travel, just talk with the locals. And you can see how hospitable, how open they are. And that will bring you the happiness. That way you will get to know the culture. And you can say, oh yeah, I've been to Serbia.
I know that place.
Yeah, I know that place because I talk with the people. With the locals, because if you just take a picture, you come to the touristic place, okay, you know the place, but you don't know the people, you don't know the culture. The place was built for the tourist, so you just know the touristic things. But if you talk with the locals, you know the culture, the country,
the story.
Yes.
Like David said, we had Arsen that he mentioned is a backpacker. So what do you think about that way of traveling and that, we can say, lifestyle?
Is it danger for you as a girl? What we will say, you are traveling alone and you are a girl.
So you are not backpacking now, actually?
I am actually.
You are?
I'm backpacking because even though, I study in Greece right now, but I'm always just taking a backpack and just like few clothes. And even those short trips, it's still a backpacking.
Even if I thought it should be some long term.
I don't think so. Well, at least for me, it's not. Maybe...
Yeah, in the books.
I don't know. I don't really know the real definition, but for me, backpacking...
Even not me. Me neither. So, what's your main, let's say, what's on your mind when you go on a trip?
What do you mean, like what's on my mind? Like
what are you thinking about? What's your like? Do you have some plans? Do you have some expectations? Do you have some worries? Do you have some fears? Do you have money? Enough money?
Okay.
Do you have that?
So no, I don't have plan. One of my motto is like plan is not plan, so I just don't plan. Of course, like I have some points maybe where I need to go or I should go, but if it changes, it's okay. For me, it's okay. Then I will discover different places, not unknown places. That locals just maybe recommended to me. And it's better. So my plan is not plan because also it's connected with the expectation. Because if I don't have any expectation, I'm not, disappointed, as I mentioned. So that's the way how I travel. I just go with the flow, as well as I hitchhike. Autostop, maybe the people would know this word better than hitchhiking. And why I'm doing like hitchhiking is because I want to connect with the locals more. It's more fun. Of course, I can afford to go on a train or on a bus. I can, of course, but it's just boring because you basically just isolate yourself with the headphones. You sit there and you watch the road. Wow, okay. It's nice. You save energy, time, whatever.
It's great, I would say.
It's nice, but like when you autostop, you meet the locals, you talk to them, and sometimes you stop on a place that you would not stop if you are in a bus, and you have for example lunch with them. They tell you more about the culture. They tell you information you wouldn't find like on the internet. So that's why, and sometimes you even find like a life-lasting friends as well. So with some of them, I'm still like in a contact. So that's why I like this kind of backpacking, low-cost lifestyle. It's not just only about the money, but it's about also being present, living your life to the fullest, getting to know the culture in other way as well. So it has like more benefits than people just think like money. No, it's not just about the money. It has deeper meaning.
Interesting thing that you, when you were when you were coming to Zlatibor, one of people who drove you and you met him by hitchhiking was Prva, and he was also on that place, on that chair, because he was one of our guests, and he has an amazing life story. So he kind of foresaw that you will have another meeting point, in being a guest here in podcast. So what's your experience about him since about those half an hour maybe spent with him?
It was amazing, actually. Like it was such a nice coincidence, the world is very small. Like he was calling to this number, right, to David's number, and he was like, "I know this guy. I hadn't had him in contact." And then like he started to talk about his stories. Like he climbed K2. I was like, "Oh my God, this guy." I met someone who climbed K2, which is not easy way or easy like mountain to hike at all. And I was so honored, and also like to hear all of his stories. And you could see like he was so calm. He was in his presence. You could feel like the calmness, quiet, like and the way how he talked about it. It was amazing. It was just like a song to your like ears, and I love it so much. I didn't feel like any stress. I just feel calmness in myself.
Yeah.
And I think it's because like he's pushing his limits all the time. That's why he's just like easygoing, and then it can influence you as well. So calmness. That's the way how I would like describe being in his presence is a calmness.
Yeah, that's the way we also felt based on those 3 hours that he talked to us about his amazing achievements in business, in climbing and everything. So do you plan you plan? It's kind of absurd, but do you plan? Have an idea to come back to Zlatibor
For sure I will. For sure I will. It's just also because David and his family and the community here, I want to really come back. And I want to get to know the culture more, because I will be here just like a week or maybe a week and a half, because I will extend it a bit. I will just, I should not say it out loud, no. But I will extend a bit while here, but I don't think it's enough, because I will just passing by actually.
But how many countries did you visit so far? And
I think it's...
I mean, when did you start? I mean, first maybe tell us how you grew up in Czech. You work a lot, I mean, you said. And
you are obviously Asian origin.
Not Chinese. People think...
making fun, but it's true. Like, yes. It's just
is this a racial comment? Sorry.
No, okay. It's not. It's true. It's true. It's just like based on the truth.
Because people think she's Chinese. When she's
that would be a racial comment. You are Vietnamese origin. Your parents are from Vietnam, but you are born in Czech Republic.
Yes.
In Češke Budějovice, a town that is familiar for any fan of sports betting and football. So you are, like we talked before the show started. You are proud to be both Czech and both Vietnamese.
Yes.
You don't have like any identity crisis.
Not really. I think it could be nice to mention, because like for sure in Czech, and I think it's international as well, the children that are born, like Asian children, are born in Czech Republic or in western side of the world. We call ourselves like banana children, because outside the skin is yellow, as a Mongolian yellow, and inside we are white. It means like we feel like white, like a Western, and I think I can identify myself like that. So yeah, and I'm really proud that I have like something from both sides.
Yeah,
I have like from the Vietnamese culture, I have the respect to the elders, that we stick together, the manners, I appreciate the little things, but on the other hand, it's really too controversial, too conservative.
Conservative, yeah.
So also what I like about the Czech culture is that I have the liberty there, the freedom, which I don't think I would have if I would be in Czech Republic, in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. Because
the freedom in what
doing
ways?
What I want, doing what I want, following my dream, like having the freedom that my parents didn't like force me to do, to go to college, this kind of stuff. You should get married, blah blah blah. You should listen to the family, to the parents, what they told you. This kind of thing. Maybe because I'm the youngest children as well, so then they think like, okay, youngest, like what do you really want to? You will survive. We have like a lot of experience with other 4 sisters, so do whatever you want to.
They can fulfill the family plans.
Yeah.
So
but
it's an interesting point of view.
Also on my dad, I can see it very much on my dad. In the past, he was really conservative, like the most conservative person I've ever known. Really, like he was the head of the family, so he took care of everything. He didn't behave very nicely to my mom, and etc. Blah blah blah. And by the time I can see now, he's very soft. He has like kind of Western mentality, but also still the Vietnamese, but in a good way. And he's becoming a better person. So I'm really proud, and I'm happy and grateful to be born in Czech Republic. I think it's a privilege. It's not just a thing that you are born somewhere. Being born in Europe is a big privilege. So I'm really happy for that. And I'm really proud, and I respect my parents for what they've done, because they came to Czech Republic without nothing. They don't know the language. Vietnamese is totally different language than the Czech.
How does it sound? What Vietnamese?
Xin chào, tôi tên là Huong. Bây giờ tôi đang ở Zlatibor. This kind of stuff. We don't have anything in common with the Japanese language, neither the Korean. So maybe with the Chinese, it's the thing that both of our language are tonic.
But please ask Mickey to pronounce your name. Come on.
We tried. Let's do it again.
Huong.
Huong.
One more time.
Huong.
Yeah, but 50-50. 50-50 is good. No, it's hard for foreigners to pronounce my name, because like we use different muscles. We use the tongue differently. It's normal.
Yes. But your language is totally different than Japanese, and that can be heard even for us.
Yeah, it's different. I can recognize it actually.
Yeah, I think that we can also recognize it, not to say which is which, but to tell it is different. So why did your parents move from Vietnam, and why did they choose Czech Republic?
Well, if I know so far, before the Czech, of course, and the Vietnam, they were communistic countries. Vietnam is still kind of communistic, and there was some contract between them about the economy. So that's how my parents got to Czech Republic. And at that time, Vietnam was really poor, really, really poor. It was like poverty there. I can really say it was a poverty there. And after war as well.
Yes.
So my dad, he knew someone in Czech Republic, and the friend, he was like, come to Czech Republic, work here, have a better life. So he got there because of the friend, and then he took my mom there as well, and then he took all of my family. So all my aunts, uncles, they're also in Czech Republic, and that's how actually. And now they have, all of them, they have like amazing life there. Really amazing life. They built everything from the scratch, and maybe they show off with the things, with the Audi and this kind of stuff. They are different than me totally. Like if you see them, they would be like really nicely dressed, makeup, blah blah blah. But it's deserved because they've really worked hard, and they still are working for that. So they've been working hard for that.
But what they have been doing when they came to Czech?
Oh, so the first thing, they were working in some factory. Then they opened the shop with the clothes around, because it was trendy at the time, to around the borders. And then they just opened a new shop in the city in České Budějovice, where I'm from. So that now my dad, he's retired, but because he's Asian, so he works all the time, not like in an extreme way, but he likes to help aunt, uncle with the shop. So he stays there, and he doesn't want anything for that. He just wants to help them, and he doesn't want any money. My mom, she still has a shop with the clothes because she loves that. It's not because she has to, but it's because she loves to be active, And I think I don't want to force old people to work, but I think at least they should do part-time job or something like that, because it gives the purpose in their life a bit. Because when you get old, you retire, like, what can you do? Like, your children are out, like, you do grandchildren maybe sometimes, but they are not there that much often. And you just lose the meaning of the life, and you become grumpy, So I think it's good to work a bit, because you are still in community in some way.
Yeah.
You interact with the
Useful,
people.
let's say.
Yeah, very much.
How big is, let's say, Asian community in Czech Republic?
Quite big. I think it's like, I don't really know the exact number, 4% of the population, I would say. But there's a huge community of Vietnamese people in Czech Republic. And I have to say, I'm very proud of them, because we are also well respected by the Czech people. Anytime I meet any Czech people, they're like, I respect you so much, your parents and everyone, for hard working, for the way how you work so hard. Like, even on a bank holiday, they just stay in the shop all the time, 24/7. They send the children, and I was working in a in a shop as well with my mom when I was a kid. And they really respect us. Also, Vietnamese people, I can proudly say that we create the intellectual level in Czech Republic. So yeah, because we are taught to go to university, blah blah blah, live there, like, yeah.
Is there a Chinese community? Because there is a lot of Chinese people in Serbia who do trading, and it's, let's say, those Chinese stores are famous in Serbia, and people from China who live there and who work in those stores. And is that the case in Czech Republic?
We have some. But I don't think that much. It's more like a majority of the Vietnamese than the Chinese when it comes to Asian countries. Then, no, not very much of the Chinese. But I know they are all around the world, because there are so many of them.
Yeah. You mentioned it's quite interesting that part of tradition in Vietnam is like those family relations, respecting, let's say that. You said conservative, but it's part of tradition, let's say, to respect the elders, to respect your family, to let's say, to respect the order. And I think that's a part of Serbian culture as well, and Slavic in general, and this area of Balkans, let's say. And but I think that we also have that freedom that you mentioned to choose your. Is it hard? Is it a big deal to say destiny? But to choose your path. So I think that Serbia also is like Czech Republic, a kind of part, let's say in halfway from the west and the east.
Yeah.
Do you feel that in Czech Republic, let's say?
Yeah, I feel it. Actually, I feel it. Like we still have the history, of the communist country, but yet we want to be more Westerny. So it's kind of mixture there. I would say, yeah, for sure.
When did you start to go on those traveling routes, and which country was the first?
Okay.
And
you mean alone or like
alone for like backpacking and stuff like that? But you probably had experience from going back home in Vietnam, or did you?
Yeah. So I have a bad joke, but like my parents, like they're immigrants, so I feel like it's in my blood to just move all the time. It's a bad joke, but like I feel it's in my blood. Yes. I've been always traveling since I was a kid with my parents. All
very
the time.
Familiar in crossing borders.
Yeah, very much. But I've been always traveling with my parents all the time, and whenever like there was like some trip at a school abroad, I always attended. So I think it was like part of me already. But like the biggest breaking point, I guess, was when I went on Erasmus last year in Madrid to Spain, and from that point I started to hitchhike again and travel alone. And it was like since that time last year, I think I traveled so far like 30 or 40 countries, or maybe more. No, not more. Like 30 countries. 40 maybe.
In whole globe, or only? No, it's not only Europe, obviously. But where did you travel?
Okay, so most of the Europe. You can say most of the Europe, and then.
Can you name of them?
All of them.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but you've been there. Yeah.
It's not necessary. It is not a quiz. But.
Like most of the Mediterranean and almost like all Balkan. I did almost. Just Bulgaria, but I don't know if I can count this. Balkan, I guess yes. Bulgaria, I haven't been yet. But most of the Europe and the North, I didn't because it's cold there. So I don't go there that much. But so it was Kazakhstan, Central Asia. So Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan.
The stans.
Yes. I'm still missing Pakistan and Afghanistan. I want to go there. I will one day.
Wait a bit. Don't hurry with that desire.
Azerbaijan, Georgia, so the Caucasus countries. Vietnam, of course, Cambodia, Malaysia, Nepal. Nepal is beautiful. It's beautiful. And the people are amazing as well. You can see the calmness and like the easygoing life as well. India, but just in New Delhi. Then where else? I was in Israel. I crossed a bit to Palestine, which is a bit now controversial. Turkey, of course. Morocco. And then Canada, but it was like when I was 19. That was the biggest trip. My first biggest trip alone was to Canada. So it was great. Yeah.
What were you doing in Canada?
Well, it was spontaneous again. My friend, she had like some tournament like of the karate, and she told me she will go there. And she was like, "If you want to join me, you can join." I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I just packed my thing and I just joined her, and I flew there alone, but we met there. So yeah, a spontaneous idea again. I just go with the flow.
Do you have plans for visiting all the countries in the world?
Of course. Every country is unique and it's different. So I want to see every bit of that.
From your experience and being a Vietnamese, is there any differences, and what are those differences in that Indochina region? Let's say differences from Vietnam and Cambodia and Laos and all those countries, because we kind of see them as similar countries in mentality and stuff like that.
So first of all, it's for sure the language. It's totally different. Also the way how people look like. I know for you it's not the same, but they look differently, as well as the history. Thailand, I think, so far as I know, they've never been conquered by China. As far as I know, maybe I'm talking bullshit, yeah. But I think that they've never been, because they don't celebrate the Chinese Lunar New Year. Like you can see, like based on if the country celebrate the Lunar New Year, you can see if the country was
under China,
or not. So yeah, that's another difference. The food, of course, is different as well, because like if you go to Vietnam, it's more about fish sauce. If you go to Thailand, it's more about the coconut milk, curry and this kind of stuff. So also in the food is different. We don't use symbol in Vietnam. We use Latin, like a normal like alphabet. In China, they use the symbol. In Thailand, they use their letters. I don't know what's the name of the letter.
Yeah.
Cambodia, they don't also use the letter that we use in Vietnam. They also have different. So the way how we write is different as well. So, and I would say also the mentality is different, because when I was in Cambodia, I could really feel that first of all, it's really a poor country. There's still poverty for sure. Vietnam, no. I think it's a developing country. It's really becoming richer and richer. And the mentality is different, because like in the past in Cambodia, they were like Khmer, and it was the people of theirs, and they just killed. Like there was a big genocide there.
Yeah.
You can feel it on the people. So in Vietnam, we don't have it that much there, because we have maybe China. We hate China. Hate like my grandpas. They don't like China because of the many centuries they've been conquering us. There's also another thing. People always ask me, like, so do you have a good relationship with USA, since they did horrible things there? And I was like what can we do? Like, it's like just the relationship because of the economy. Like it's like any other country. And the
politics, so even more, yeah.
Yeah, but the war, like I think and they always like they are confused. There are memorials, right? So they see like the Chinese are big, and like the way they are asking, why is the USA like so small? Well, because like with the Chinese, there are like many more people who died. So for us, it's more important like with the Chinese one than like the USA one. The USA was like horrible, but it was like a short time. The Chinese was horrible, but it was a long time. So yeah.
Yeah, speak about short time. The Vietnamese War is one of the most famous wars. Because of the Western culture, and it is very present in the American society and in the American pop culture, in the movies and stuff like that. So it made that Vietnamese war, unfortunately, one of the most famous wars.
Yeah.
And obviously it has been a tough period. So. Your parents are from which side?
From the north. From the north. And I have still some. I found it out like many years ago that one of because my mom, she's coming from 9 children. Yes, 9 children, and some of them actually they died in the war. So
yeah, it was like you said, we can do anything now since the time passed. So it's an interesting point of view from someone to learn about that war and knowing that it was just one of the wars and actually not even the biggest one, obviously, in Vietnam. So in the North Vietnam, how often do you go there?
Oh my God! I've been there when I was a kid, and then I don't know why, but I hadn't been there for 10 years. And this year I decided to come to see my grandma, because she's 95, and I don't know like what tomorrow can happen.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I should go there now, and it was amazing. I want to come back next year. Hopefully I will see. But yeah, I want to come back more often, because it's still my roots, even though I wasn't there like for 10 years, I still felt like home. I just came and it was immediately like home, like I would never like left this place.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful like feeling. Yeah. Warming feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the feeling of the real home.
Yeah. Well, I have it in Češke.
Those so-called homes that you want to feel. I'm just kidding. So, what are the main, let's say, also Vietnam is becoming a very interesting
very much
place for tourism. What do people go to see over there?
Oh, okay. So they usually see like the most touristic places. So it means the Halong Bay. I highly recommend them to not go there because it's just a touristic trap. If they go a bit further, it's like just next to each other. The name is Cat Ba. It's the same. It's less touristic. You have like a national park there where you can hike. It's a beautiful place. Then they go to Hanoi, which is capital city. Then they go to the north. There's like a Sapa. It's like a mountain village, kind of.
Sapa. Actually, I've heard about Sapa. It's on the north, really on the north. Yeah, I've heard about Sapa. I've read some text or a column from an architect who's been to Sapa from Serbia, and she compared Sapa to Zlatibor because of the So, is there any similarities?
Yeah, it's just very touristic. It doesn't feel authentic at all. I didn't feel comfortable there. Also, it was like was raining really heavily when I was there. So. Yeah. So no, I didn't really like that. But if you go around, you have like a rice field there. You can see the monks, which are like they're not native of Vietnam, but some kind of Chinese, I guess, living there, and just like nomads, I can call them. I think so. And we got invited by couchsurfing. I would never thought that any like this kind of native or a nomad would have couchsurfing, but he had, and so we got hosted by their family. It was amazing. You could see like it was a typical way how they live. It wasn't like nothing fake, you know. And they had the house where they live like the whole family, just one room. And in the house they had a fire, so they were still cooking in a fire, you know. Amazing experience, really amazing one. Yeah.
So in Sapa, there is like in Zlatibor, there is urban city center with buildings that are not very in local tradition way built, like in Zlatibor. But if you go a bit further, you can see amazing even people and amazing nature. So
it's always like that.
There is probably a lot of places in the world that made the same mistake, but what can we do now?
Yeah.
Those kind of mistakes cannot be undone.
Maybe tell for example,
sorry. And about the south.
Okay, then south there's Ho Chi Minh. It's
the capital city. Yeah.
It used to be capital city, and now it's Hanoi.
For the whole country.
Yes, but in the past it was like the north and south. So for the north it was Hanoi, and for the south it's Ho Chi Minh. But now the main one is the Hanoi.
Ho Chi Minh is the former Saigon. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And the Hanoi is the capital for the whole. Okay, I haven't. Yeah.
Yeah, and the south you can see, okay, Ho Chi Minh, it's nice, and then like the beaches around. There's like a floating market you can see. It's nice, but I like the north more because the south is really impacted by the west, and like Singapore, you know, a lot of people, a lot of rich countries, Japan, Korea, are investing to the south, and in Vietnam in general. But you can see really in the south, it's skyscrapers. It's nice. You get outside of the skyscrapers, it's local. But I don't know, I feel like the north is, not because I'm coming from the north, but I feel it's more authentic, to be honest.
Well, obviously, now I'm talking again about the skyscrapers of Zlatibor. We need, we cannot say that we need, but the society needs, obviously, skyscrapers and those tall buildings for some reason.
Because we are overpopulated.
Not only that, but for some other reason, that we shouldn't be talking about that now. But there is a way to let's say, to regulate those buildings and to make it aesthetically acceptable. Let's say. You wanted to say something about?
I want to ask something about when we talk about travelers. Traveling, you have good and bad experiences. For example, what is your best experience? What is your worst experience?
Okay, I can't say the best because all of them are really great, and it's just about the way how you see it. So with the best, I would not like pick just one. It's really hard to just pick one. But with the bad one, I have like one that just stick to my mind because it happened recently in Uzbekistan. So we were like, I was traveling with my friend, the only friend I can travel. It's just one girl. And we were in Uzbekistan, in Nukus, just a city. And there was just only one host from Couchsurfing, and he accepted us. And also he accepted like some, what's it? English guy and British guy. His name is Adam. So we got hosted, all three of us. It was a good experience, we went, and he invited some of his friends. So we went for a dinner, it was just a normal thing. And then we were like, okay, we are tired. We would like to go to sleep, three of us, because we wanted to go to RLC the next day. And so we went to sleep, and they were like, if you want if we don't want to go drinking with them, we're just like, no, we are tired, but you can do whatever you want to because it's his house, right? So we went to sleep, and we were sleeping on the ground. It's kind of common there to sleep on the ground. So we slept on the ground, and an hour later, because I have very sensitive sleep, so any kind of light, noise can just wake me up. And so there was like suddenly like I could feel behind my head there was some light like from the phone. It was definitely from the phone. And when I moved, it like turned off. So, and I was like, what the heck is happening, right? So I tried to not move, and it turned on again. And then I moved, and it was just turned off again. So someone was sitting there staring at us while we were sleeping. It lasted like for 20 minutes. Then I could feel that person moved close to my legs, to my feet. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? So I tried to wake with the movement to try to get closer to my friend and try to wake her up. But when she sleeps, it's like, she's like a bear. No, she's like, not happening. I was like, okay, whatever. So, he didn't stop for an hour. He was staring at us the whole hour. So at some point I just got mad. I was like, so I just woke up and I started to like shouting at him, what is he doing? Why is he staring at us?
That was the same guy, that Adam, or some other guy? Who was
I didn't know, but then when I woke up and I saw that guy, it was the friend of the host. The host was sleeping. And he said, I'm sorry, I'm drunk. So he didn't say even sorry that for what he's done, but he said, sorry, I'm drunk. And the funny part, he didn't stop staring. He pointed the light at us, and he was like still with the light staring at us. I was like, come on, man, you don't stop even like when I like shout at you. And so I woke also Adam. He was sleeping there with us, and like the Simona, my friend. And Adam, he said, he noticed that his sweatpants were on the side where, or like on my legs, like the side that I felt someone was sitting there. So the guy, he was sniffing his pants because Adam, he remembered it was on the other side. And that was not the creepiest thing. It was like 4 a.m. So we were like, okay, what should we do? We're going to pack our things, and leave because we're not going to stay there with this creepy guy. And so we packed our things and we left. But the most creepiest thing is that we went outside. We were like on our way to find some hostel, whatever. The guy went out with the light chasing us.
Oh.
So he was chasing us at 4 a.m. and we were like, oh my God, we need to run away. And like after 10 minutes, he stopped. But like, come on, like at night, like 4 a.m. in the morning, it was totally dark. Someone was chasing you. And we were like, oh my God, that's horrible. And then we found out that Adam, he's gay. And apparently like the gays, they have some radar. I don't know. I didn't see it. I was like, what? And so I think the guy, the creepy guy, he noticed that Adam is gay. So, and he was drunk, so he was kind of like approaching to him this way. I don't know. So that was like the experience. It was like creepy. I think it's like an experience. I laugh. It was funny at the same time. But, things happen.
That being in other people's homes, it makes you kind of
vulnerable. Yes,
but that was only, let's say, was that the only case of being frightened or being in that kind of experience? Or is it more? No, it was.
It's just like one actually in Bosnia.
Okay.
It was in Konjic, and it was. I got hosted a guy. I don't know if I'm not gonna mention his name. I just.
Obviously.
Koji grad?
Konjic.
Inače ona razume srpski donekle. Ime grada ko?
Konjic.
Grada Konjic.
Okay.
Da. And I arrived right, and he was okay. He was like normal guy, just, positive, blah, 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 adventurous guy. He was doing kayaking, this kind of stuff. It was okay. And on the way, luckily, I met like a French girl, and I was like, let's go with, like, she can go with us, see the lake, whatever. And it was okay at the same time. And then we found out he was like in some reality show. I'm not going to mention which one. And then he was telling me like, you look like my ex-wife. And it was like, okay, first red flag, okay? And then he was like talking about how he loves his freedom, blah, blah, blah. And like, you could see on his face, like kind of perverty something, And then when we came to the petrol, the French girl, she left already. And then like I was supposed to stay at his house. On the petrol station, we met his friend, and he told his friend, "This is my wife." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And like, he even translated it to me. He was so proud of it that he said this kind of joke, let's say joke. And then when I came to his house, I found out that I would have to sleep in one room with him. I didn't feel comfortable at all.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
And then he asked me like, I have never had Asian girl. How are they? I'm just like, I don't know. I'm Czech. And so I was like, I don't know. I'm Czech. Like, I'll go to Asia and ask them.
Yeah.
And then like we drove to the center, and I was like, sorry, I can't stay at your place. I found an excuse. I was like, because the next day I will hitchhike, and your house is further away. And luckily he was okay with that. But I could feel that it wasn't okay to stay with him. So it was like another like...
After this kind of experience, do you feel like discouraged to go to use couch surfing? Actually,
yeah, of course. It has like from 90, like the 90s references, or like hosts that I have.
Okay.
It's just like few of them, that like 2 or 3 that are like not good, let's say.
Yeah.
But apart from that, like you meet amazing people.
99% was everything was good. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's with everything, It's like everything in your life. You can drive safely, but like 1%, some dickhead just crash on you. So you never know. It's just part of that.
How do you, in these couch surfing profiles, you have like grades or something like that? So people can comment or leave some kind of references for a host.
Yeah, I just wrote that I didn't stay with him, but he just wrote that I didn't stay with him. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so people can see.
Yeah.
In future to be aware of. So tell us some good experience now. You obviously said your experience with David and Jovana. What's kind of something? Tell us a few good examples to kind of balance it.
There are many of them. As I mentioned, like the Huong in Vietnam, the native or like the nomad. Like you would not like experience this if you didn't have the couch surfing. I think so. Because they are like other monks, but they do it like for money, and they do it like in the way that it's not honest, it's not pure. For example, then in Croatia, I met like amazing friend, a guy there, and like now he's my friend, and we text till now. In Portugal, I met a crazy, but in a good way, crazy, like military guy. He was he was French, living in Portugal, and you really meet interesting people. Like even though he was like adult, he behaved like a child, but in a good way, in a curiosity way. He was very active, doing all this kind of shitty things, adventurous thing, and it was amazing. So like I can't just point out just one, because there are many of them, and from each of the hosts you learn something new, and that's what I love about it the most.
When you're finding hosts, are there some red flags, as you said?
Oh yeah, of course. You need to read, first of all, you need to read references. That's the first thing. Second of all, I recommend to read the groups, because sometimes there's written that they are nudist or naturalist. So if it's written there, maybe not text the guy. Or just also for guys, maybe for the girl, I don't know, like LGBT, sometimes they are something like that. But for me, it's not a problem. I don't care. But maybe for someone, it can be a bit, tricky.
Awkward.
But what do your parents think about your traveling? Do they don't know you are traveling now?
Like they know that somehow I travel, but they don't know that I stay with the locals, because
What do you say to them? You go to hotel or some rooms, or?
No, I just say I'm outside, because they trust me. They just like they know that I will survive somehow. But I just don't want to, because they're kind of old as well, like 65. not the oldest, but older, and I don't want to worry them with the things that I do. They would be like all the time scared, blah blah blah, and we just don't want to scare them, so I just don't tell them.
You think it's better for them to not know?
Yeah, just tell them that I'm alive. Just I don't send them the pictures that maybe some food, and that I call them.
The proof of your living.
But I call them all the time. I call them, I text them, so it's okay. But yeah, I don't really tell them because in general, even if I have to explain couchsurfing for young generation, they just don't get it. It's just for them, it's like, why would you do that? Or it's so dangerous, And then imagine try to explain it to your parent. They would be like, you're mad. What is wrong with you? So maybe I'm mad, whatever. But I don't want to argue.
Maybe
with
until
them.
You find a husband somewhere here in Balkans, and you will settle down.
Well, it's a matter of destiny. You cannot intervene in such things. You should not find a Serbian guy. You should find a guy from Čajetina. You mentioned earlier Erasmus program for students.
Yes.
Tell us something about that. How does that work? And because it's a program that also people from Serbia, from here, can apply.
So basically, it's the study exchange from European Union. And the principle is that you basically go to study abroad. You can, and if you're on a master, you do internship for 6 months, and in total you can have 1 year. And you got funded by the European Union. Depends from which country you're going to which country. They will give you the amount of money. They don't care how you use it. It's just they send you, and as an adult, you will spend it the way you should. And it's amazing opportunity because you can live and stay abroad for that amount of the year. You get funded. You get to know the culture. You really live there, so you are local, so you get to know the demography, you get to know the economy, the language, because sometimes it's a different language, right? And
the education system, obviously.
Yeah, of course. I should mention it first. Yeah. Yes, the education system as well, the health system as well, everything actually. And I think it's amazing opportunity. I think I have never heard anyone who've been to Erasmus that would regret it. They always say it's life-changing experience, and for me it was surely like that.
So you start studying in your home state, and you choose the same program or similar, or what? Or you kind of change the
Oh, so basically the process, you mean how it works, or what you mean right now?
The thing that you studied.
I studied business administration, and of course you have to study the same field.
The same, yeah.
You have to,
yes,
otherwise, they have some conditions in order to finish this project. You should bring some credits or credits, the points, from when you finish the subject, you pass the subject, you get the points, and you should bring certain
amount of points. Yes,
depends on the universities.
Yes, because of it's Bologna system, and everything is every, let's say, exam consists of points.
Yes.
That's
yeah, nothing is for free, so you should do something for that. And so just that. And apart from that, it's just I know that a lot of people say Erasmus is like a vacation. It depends to which country you choose. The more north you go, it's more about studying. The more south you go, it's more easygoing. So that's why I chose the south. It's more easygoing.
Where do you study now?
Business administration. It's the same. But
Where?
In Greece. In Zlatiborskog.
So it's very easy going.
And the first Erasmus I did in Spain, in Madrid. So it was kind of mañana, siesta. But now it's amazing experience. I highly recommend.
So you can change destinations from
well, it depends how much you use of the Erasmus already. If you use 6 months, then you can still choose another 6 months, but you have to apply again, go through all the process again, write a motivational letter, this kind of stuff, based also on the average of your marks, blah, blah, blah. If they accept you, you can continue and you can choose another destination. But in total, it's 1 year. But you can separate it, or you can just take 1 year in a row.
Semester by semester.
Yes.
Or,
What language do you use in Greece?
Greek.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak Czech, Vietnamese, English. This is like the fluent, I would say. I learned German. I graduated, but I forgot because I don't use it that much. That's why. And then my sister, she's half deaf, so I kind of learn a bit, but I forgot because I don't speak with her that much anymore. The sign language, but I forgot a bit, lost of it.
Yeah. You forgot more languages than someone knows. So in Greece, how much do you stay?
Till February, but maybe I will extend my stay. I will see. I really love Greece and Greek people in general. They are amazing as well, warming as well in different way. And so I would say like Serbian. I know I should not like just pick one country, but like from this kind of Balkan, I think like the Greek and Serbian are my favorite ones so far. Like I can't help myself. It's not because like I'm in a Serbian podcast right now, but it's because I feel like this.
Now is Serbia in first place. I mean, when you go to Greek podcast, say what you want. But no Greek podcast haven't called you, so have that in mind. So you have to finish your studies back in Czech Republic, yes?
Yes.
So how many exams? The exams you pass in Greece. It's approved back in home university.
Oh, basically, like in my home university, I finished all of my subjects that I needed to have, and I prolonged my studies because of Erasmus. So basically, like what I do, I of course I have to finish the subjects there because otherwise I will have to give back the money. I don't want to do that. So I will finish that, but for me it's like
so you learn
useless, not useless, but the credits. It's like I finished already, so I will pass to the final exams anyway. So yeah.
Like it's an additional knowledge, let's say.
Yeah, for sure. It's amazing. And I'm learning Greek, and there are like some interesting subjects as well. Just the only thing, it's all in Greek. So, yeah, that's why I'm here and not in Greece.
You are procrastinating.
I know.
In a very active way. Just joking. We like to joke with our guests. So even though if we see each other for the first time, it's not a problem to make jokes. It's part of our podcast. That's why we are so popular.
Yeah, and we usually ask people, have you been in jail? No.
Probably. No, and I hope I won't.
Yeah, usually we
don't worry, you will be.
Okay, thank
you. That's a thing that one guest told me when I asked him the same question. So part of the way that we end our show is to ask what's the biggest achievement of your life for now. Let's say you are young, you are only 24 now, but what would you, let's say, emphasize as your biggest success?
My biggest success? Oh my God, that's a horrible question.
Well, you can say those, since you don't have kids and
yeah, I don't
yet.
So far that I know, no.
Yeah, so you can maybe those languages or those countries that you checked.
I guess okay, I have one actually. I think the biggest achievement of my life is just like to be myself, actually, because I feel and I can see that a lot of people, they don't know how to be themselves anymore. They're so lost, and I'm so happy that I found myself. I'm okay. I will like find myself in whole life, but so far I'm so happy that I'm the most authentic myself, and that I'm spreading like the real me. You know, because like when you spread the real me, you can influence so many lives. And I'm so happy that I could help so many people as well, and they help me as well. You know, so I would say this is the biggest achievement of my life so far, being able to be myself, the most authentic one. So I think that one.
Yeah, nice one. Not bad. Not bad answer. I had to add on your point, since we talked about that I don't have those ideas like you have in traveling and exploring, but I kind of have the same feeling about my life, of being myself and sharing that myself, even though I spend most of the time in my home in not traveling 30 or so countries. So I think that is what's the word? Kako se kaže moguće? That's possible. That's possible in different ways.
Of course, there are many ways.
Since you're young, what are your, let's say, the main ideas that you want to achieve?
What would I want to achieve in my life?
That's
even worse question.
Yes, that's an additional. Because you passed that first one, you got to the next level.
What would I achieve in my life?
Biggest plan, or you don't have plans. Biggest plan, not to have plans.
Yeah, of course, but
to keep on going.
I would like to give everything back to my parents that they gave me. That's the biggest achievement I want to do in my life, because like thanks to them, I've become a person who I am today. Thanks to them, I could have the opportunity to travel like this. Everything I do like on my own, but like before, that they show me how to travel, and they support me to go on Erasmus. They didn't tell me like, no, you're gonna stay here, you won't be able to go anywhere. So that I think so. Thanks to them and thanks to my mom. She's an amazing person. She's a very strong person, and I learned so much from her as well as from my dad. So I want to give back everything what they gave me, giving them back because they deserve it very much.
Great way to end this episode. Thank you for sharing your story with us and with our viewers and listeners, with our audience. Best of luck on your voyages. It was really great experience to have like this multinational guest in our podcast. So thank you once again and best of luck.
Thank you very much as well, and hope you have amazing days and everything in your life. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
And hope you're gonna have as many amazing guests here as you can, as you find.
This episode will be now popular both in Czech and both in Vietnam, since we already covered this space, so we are now transcending. Thank you.
Ovo je Zlatiborski podcast.